Hello everyone, and welcome to my General Hospital official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Sasha and Willow have it out, Brennan fears for Carly's safety, and Tracy plots with Cody. Last week was a difficult week for everyone in Port Charles who knew and loved Sam, as well as her many fans. This week, Sam's family begins the long grieving process, with Alexis making a specific request of her surviving kids. We hope she asks for politeness between the two. Do you think Molly and Christina will bury the hatchet? Meanwhile, Robert and Holly continue to confront the past and what could have been before she is rejected. Can these two ever work together, or are there too many lies between them? And Jason is put in an uncomfortable situation when Carly's future is at stake. In the weekly spoiler video, Sam's family and friends deal with her death. Michael experiences another shock, Sidwell arrives for his jewels, and an explosion rattles the city. Sam's loved ones are reeling at the news of her death. Robert and Holly recall their past. Sonny lends his support to Dante. Alexis has a request for Christina and Molly. GH recap, females grieve Sam. ABC, General Hospital spoilers on Tuesday, November 5th, Sasha and Willow had an argument. Christina is shocked. Ava offers an apology. Carly is stunned. Jason and Diane had a heart-to-heart. Sasha Gilmore and Willow Tate's once strong friendship takes an abrupt turn when Willow confronts Sasha about her pregnancy and the developing misunderstandings around Michael. You should have just told me the truth, Sasha, Willow charges. Instead, I've been sitting here wondering if my husband has been keeping secrets from me. Sasha, overcome by her own troubles, fires back. Do you think this is about you? I'm trying to keep my baby safe while still keeping my life together. The last thing I need is for you to assume the worst. The argument turns heated as both women express their frustrations. Sasha lashes out, accusing Willow of being overly protective of Michael, while Willow responds that Sasha's secret has put an unneeded pressure on everyone. As her emotions settle, Sasha tells the truth about her high-risk pregnancy and the dangers she's been receiving. Willow softens as she realizes the severity of Sasha's pain. I didn't know, Willow admits gently. I'm sorry. The two ladies reach a tentative peace, but their friendship remains weak as they deal with the aftermath. Brennan fears for Carly's safety. Carly Spencer becomes the victim of veiled threats after getting involved in the simmering confrontation between Drew, Valentine, and the Pikeman security group. Former WSB agent Brennan overhears a concerning chat between Pikeman operatives and quickly informs Sonny Corinthos. They're not just after Drew, Brennan says. They see Carly as leverage, and they're not afraid to use her. Sonny's protective instincts kick into overdrive. No one messes with my family, he growls, ordering additional security for Carly and the children. However, Carly is resistive to the measures. I've handled myself just fine all these years, she says Sonny. I'm not going to live in fear because of Pikeman. But Brennan's warnings come true when Carly receives an anonymous message, stay out of this, or there will be consequences. The threat shakes Carly, but she remains resolute. She covertly hires Sam McCall to delve deeper into Pikeman's operations, vowing to find the truth and defend her family at any cost. Tracy plots with Cody. Tracy Quartermaine, ever the schemer, sees an opportunity in Cody Bell's recent dealings with the Spencer and Cassadine families. Tracy approaches Cody with this proposition. Tracy says, I need someone with your unique skill set, with implication in her tone. There's a certain matter involving ELQ that requires discretion, and perhaps a little finesse. Cody, apprehensive but interested, listens as Tracy explains her strategy to undermine Valentine Cassadine's hold over ELQ. She wants Cody to penetrate Valentine's inner circle as a neutral party and provide Tracy information that will tilt the scales in her favor. What's in it for me? Cody inquires, doubtful of Tracy's motives. Let's just say I have the resources to make your recent legal troubles disappear, Tracy says with a wicked grin. Cody hesitantly agrees, but he soon discovers he's in over his head as Tracy's plots get more dangerous. Cody's blossoming friendship with Sasha is tested as he struggles to match Tracy's demands with his own moral compass. Sasha and Willow's uneasy truce. The aftermath of Sasha and Willow's disagreement has strained their friendship. Despite both women's efforts to reconcile, residual tensions threaten to undermine years of mutual support and trust. Shared pain, different perspectives. Sasha is dealing with both a high-risk pregnancy and the mental wounds of recent experiences. She fights with the weight of concealment and survival, convinced that her poor judgments were required to save her future. Willow, who is still healing from her health crisis and dealing with the difficulties of her marriage to Michael, is taken aback by the prospect of betrayal, not just by her husband, but also by a friend she had implicitly trusted. Despite their peace, the emotional wounds of their dispute resurface after a fortuitous meeting at GH. "You don't get it, Willow," Sasha says, as Willow shows concern. "I've had to fight for every piece of my life back, and you judging me doesn't help." "I wasn't judging you," Willow responds, her tone increasing. "But I can't help feeling like you didn't trust me enough to let me in." The fight emphasizes their mutual pain, but it also reveals a misunderstanding of one other's hardships. A path to healing. The tipping point occurs when Sasha is hospitalized following a pregnancy scare. Willow, unable to stay away, pays her a visit and brings a tiny gift, a lavender plant, which represents calm and strength. "I know we've both been through a lot," Willow adds, sitting by Sasha's bed. "But I want to be here for you. If you will allow me." Sasha hesitates before eventually letting her defenses down. "I've been quite terrified, Willow. Scared of losing everything, of becoming a burden. But I should not have pushed you away." The two women have a deep chat, resolving their issues and strengthening their connection. They agree to take things one day at a time, understanding that trust cannot be re-established overnight. Lingering challenges. Even as they attempt to rebuild their friendship, other forces threaten to keep them apart. Michael's role. Willow's persistent misgivings about Michael's relationship with Sasha create underlying tension. Sasha's stalker. As Sasha's stalker becomes more aggressive, Willow's protective impulses clash with her desire for independence. Health risks. Sasha's pregnancy issues add a further layer of emotional pressure, putting their fragile ceasefire to test. Sasha and Willow's shared history is full of moments of trust, love, and mutual support, but whether it will be enough to mend their friendship depends on how they handle their differences in the future. Here's an overview of their dynamic and upcoming challenges. The strength of their bond. Sasha and Willow have a history of working through personal challenges together. Deception days. Their relationship at Deception strengthened their bond as they supported one another professionally and personally. Shared grief. Following Willow's son's death and Sasha's struggles with addiction and mental health, they developed a strong connection and shared a unique understanding of one another's grief. Michael's role. Both ladies had strong relationships to Michael, which initially drew them together but eventually caused potential conflict. These shared experiences have given them a foundation of trust that, while shaken, may still be strong enough to rebuild. Challenges. Lingering resentment. Willow is sad that Sasha did not confide in her, despite their close connection. Meanwhile, Sasha resents being assessed at one of her most vulnerable points in life. Willow still harbors anxieties about Michael, despite Sasha's assurance that he is not the father of her kid. External stressors. Sasha has a stalker and is pregnant at high risk. Willow's continued healing and her desire to have a strong marriage with Michael. The emotional impact of prior losses, which may reappear under stress. A potential path to healing. Acknowledge their pain. A heart-to-heart conversation in which both ladies really admit their anguish and regrets is essential. Sasha might share her concerns about burdening Willow, and Willow could admit to feeling alienated during Sasha's seclusion. To rebuild trust, it may be necessary to demonstrate genuine support for one another. Willow, for example, may attend Sasha to maternity checkups, and Sasha could provide emotional support when Willow recovers. Establishing appropriate limits requires mutual understanding between both women. Sasha may require room to address her issues on her own, whereas Willow must focus on detaching her insecurities from her friendships. Signs of hope. Flashbacks. The show may include tender flashbacks to their most memorable moments together, reaffirming why their relationship is worth surviving. A common enemy, such as Sasha's stalker, might unify them and remind them of their strength when they stand together. A new beginning, Sasha's pregnancy might represent a fresh start, enabling both women to let go of old grievances. But Christina refuses to recognize that she caused the accident by storming into Ava's hotel room and making angry demands and threats, so here we are. In a courtroom with Ava on trial, the only thing she did wrong was try to hide the fact that she was sleeping with a rogue FBI agent who went on to kidnap her a few weeks later. Watching Rick rip Christina apart on the stand was impressive, but hearing Christina cry about her baby in front of Molly and TJ made us want to throw things at the TV. How did TJ sit there, not wanting to do the same thing? Maybe he did, but it wasn't part of the script, so he couldn't. However, we truly need to know, where is the Metro Court pool? We were initially informed it was on the roof, then Christina fell through the window and into the pool. So we assumed there were two towers, and the pool was on the shorter one. Maybe? This week, we learned that Christina had fallen 3 stories, which we accepted. Then we learned she had fallen from a 3rd-story window. How did she manage to land in a pool that was supposed to be on the roof? Make sure it makes sense. Where has the other Molly gone? We're confident Molly is requesting the same thing. Make sure it makes sense. However, this Molly is not the same Molly from baby Irene's funeral, nor is she the Molly who spent the following 2 months bickering with her sister and shaming her all over Port Charles. No, Molly is doing exactly what she accuses Alexis of doing, coddling her hot mess of a big sister who was ready to grab her baby before diving into the pool. Even Molly realized quickly that Christina had caused her own fall, and Ava had not pushed her. Christina was still in the hospital, yelling and raving about big, terrible Ava, when Molly saw photos of the incident and realized right away that Christina was the aggressor during the confrontation. Molly is now concerned that Christina, the delicate flower, may fall apart if Ava is allowed to wander free. As a lawyer, Molly should not want someone in jail who she knows is innocent, but here we are. A story that abruptly shifts direction is typical of GH. Lulu's wonderful, enchanting journeys. Confused and bewildered. Lulu was the other emphasis over Thanksgiving week, with her medical science-defying recovery taking center stage. Merely a day after opening her eyes for the first time in 4 years, Lulu didn't merely lift her arm and get out of bed. She strolled right out of Turning Wood without being noticed, got to the side of the road, changed her clothes, and didn't become sick from a lollipop. After 4 years with a feeding tube and a brand new liver, you'd think all that sugar would bother her. But no, not our Lulu. As a trooper, she let herself into her house before making her way to the Quartermain estate and letting herself in the front entrance. Did Laura pay for high-tech physical therapy several times every day? If she didn't, we've concluded that Lulu is not human. That's the only explanation here. Let us suspend disbelief. Can we claim we are enjoying Lulu's recuperation now that we have dealt with the craziness of it? If you ignore all of the frivolous details, Lulu's voyage back home or wherever she ends up has been anything from boring. It was a short soap week, but Lulu accomplished a lot, and GH wasted no time in informing some of the most important people that she was back among the living. James met Aunt Lulu but didn't know who she was. However, if their scenes together are any indication, James and Lulu may make excellent sparring partners. Little Gary Fuller is the soap kid find of the decade, and he will undoubtedly give Spitfire Lulu a run for her money, just like he does for his mother, Maxie. Of course, our hearts warmed when beautiful Rocco discovered his mom standing in the Q living room. We had to watch the look of shock and excitement on his face over and over. It reminded us of when a teenage Lulu saw Laura for the first time after she awoke from her catatonic state. On Monday, Lulu learns that it is no longer 2020. For the majority of us, this is a positive thing. For Lulu, not so much. Cyrus, we like you now. Just a short shout out to Cyrus for putting Lucky in his place and exposing him for the scum that he is. We don't know what Cyrus is up to with Lulu, and we won't like him again if we find out he killed Sam. However, someone other than Elizabeth needed to tell Lucky the truth about his deadbeat ways. The expression on Elizabeth's face when Cyrus questioned Lucky's commitment to family told it all. Drew is still you. Drew did not stalk Willow this week, sleep with her mother, or mistreat his child. However, he attempted to bribe Michael into liking him again by offering him the Aurora CEO position while disparaging his friend Curtis. At least Michael was astute and smarmy enough to record Drew's remarks and play them back for Curtis. Let's see how these two work together to teach Drew a lesson before Michael learns one as well. Oh Michael, Sasha has something to tell you. Michael can't go home and tell Willow about his issues because she cheated on him. Does Michael forget that he has also cheated on her? Sasha has a major surprise in store for him, so he won't forget for long. Yes, Sasha is pregnant because that is what happens to her after a drunken one-night stand. Hopefully, this pregnancy will not have the same awful outcome as her previous one, but she may have a baby daddy issue. After GH opted to make Michael a father again, Chad Duell left the show, and Michael will be written off at the start of the new year. Where does this leave Sasha? What about her baby? Is Michael's departure going to make Sasha the poster child for soap-tortured characters again? We almost expect it while also dreading it. Don't do that, GH, or we'll have to throw rocks at the screen, and we don't want to damage our televisions. Till next week, when Lulu discovers she has 2 adolescent children, and that's just the beginning. Sit down, Lulu, and relax. It'll be a while. Here's a look at how General Hospital could play out on Monday, December 2nd, with revelations, heated confrontations, and emotional upheaval. Jason Morgan tells Drew Kane shocking details about Valentine Cassidy's ties with Pikeman Security Group. Jason learns that Drew was inadvertently utilized as a pawn in Valentine's criminal business. You think you were working for ELQ's future, but Valentine was playing you the whole time, Drew is telling Jason. Drew's rage erupts as he recognizes the gravity of the treachery. He's been lying to me since the beginning, and I let him. This is over now. Jason tells Drew to use cautious and not allow his anger cloud his judgment. However, Drew is determined to confront Valentine head-on. He storms into the Quartermain home, where an icy confrontation ensues. Drew accuses Valentine of using him as a cover for his criminal empire. It's over. But Valentine, always one step ahead, responds, "You might want to think twice before making accusations you can't back up, Drew." Drew is at a crossroads after the exchange. Should he risk everything to expose Valentine, or should he wait until he has more evidence? Sonny Corinthos invites Christina Davis to the penthouse for a heart-to-heart, knowing he can no longer hide a particular secret from her. Christina is first apprehensive, questioning why her father is so serious. "Christina, there's something you need to know," Sonny says, his tone solemn. "It's about the business, and how it could affect you." Sasha's upcoming action. Sasha is at a turning point in her life after learning of her possibly fatal pregnancy condition. She gets a second opinion from Dr. Monica Quartermain, who gives her hope but also caution, because she is motivated to fight for her child. Monica says, "Sasha, you have choices. But there are risks involved with every decision." In the meantime, Sasha's stalker keeps sending her strange notes. "You won't survive this unless you listen to me," says one message. Sasha goes to Cody for support, but as Cody's attention changes to Lulu's unexpected return, their relationship is put to the test. Sasha decides to act alone after feeling abandoned. After hiring Spinelli to investigate the message's origin, she finds a startling link to Gladys Corbin. Sasha approaches Gladys and asks for clarification. Sasha is caught in the crossfire after Gladys breaks down and admits that she struck a deal with a dangerous person to pay off her debts. Gladys sobs, "I didn't know they'd go this far." However, Sasha refuses to offer forgiveness. As she leaves her old confidant, she says, "This is the last time you have betrayed me." Lulu's world permanently shifts. The Spencer and Falconeri families are completely upended by Lulu's return to Port Charles. Lulu shares what happened in Turning Woods after getting back together with Dante and their kids. She says that "I wasn't just recovering, I was being manipulated. Cyrus controlled my family by using me as leverage." Lulu finds it difficult to accept that Dante has moved on with Sam McCall as she gets used to living at home. Despite her best efforts to be upbeat, Lulu and Sam's tension is clear. Meanwhile, Lulu gets back in touch with Maxie, who pushes her to start over. Maxie adds, "You've been through hell, but you're still standing." Perhaps it's time to discover your current identity. Taking the counsel to heart, Lulu starts working at the Invader, where she works with Alexis Davis on an exposé regarding Cyrus's role in turning woods. She is targeted by Cyrus's associates as a result of her inquiry, which results in a terrifying encounter that makes her wonder if she is prepared for this new part of her life. As Lulu and Cody collaborate to unearth secrets related to turning woods, flames fly between them. Their developing bond causes conflict with Dante, who feels compelled to protect his ex-wife. What takes place next? Drew's repercussions. Will Drew reveal Valentine and Pikeman, or will he put himself in danger to keep the people he cares about safe? Can Sasha beat her stalker and make it through her dangerous pregnancy? Lulu's new chapter. Will her newfound independence and her heart be jeopardized by Lulu's inquiry into Cyrus's activities? Because of the Thanksgiving break, General Hospital had a short week. Nevertheless, despite the fact that last week seemed to drag on forever, it was a good and extremely emotional week. The big returns won't happen until next week, but Lulu is finally back. It looks that the yearly Quartermain Thanksgiving catastrophe will also occur at that time. We wouldn't be refused singing and pizza by the show, would we? On the lam, Lulu. I talked about the possible reasons of Cyrus's sudden, unsettling fixation with Lulu last week. Other than his comment that he has been the only person there for her while Laura and Lucky have been busy elsewhere, we still don't have any answers. This week, when Cyrus meant to move Lulu from turning woods to a facility in South Carolina, things took an even stranger turn. What? How exactly was he going to tell Laura that? Lulu quickly fled, but Cody was there to easily pick her up from the side of the road. Like many of the viewers, I wondered why Cody didn't know Lulu. He must have seen a picture of her. Additionally, he was there at the hospital when she was there before to the surgery. Maybe he couldn't spot Lulu because of her hoodie. Perhaps it works similarly to Clark Kent's glasses. In any case, the fact that Cody was the one to help her simply shouted, possible future love connection. It may make for an interesting love triangle when Dante is included. Cyrus was told to keep away from Lulu by Lucky, who appeared to finally stand up and offered to assist Liz find what had happened to Sam. But Cyrus scolded Lucky and Good, telling them not to lecture him about family when he hasn't been home for 10 years and can hardly see his own son. The truth is painful. Perhaps Uncle Cyrus's reprimands will help him stop being such a man-child. Lulu ran throughout Port Charles in the suspenseful Friday episode, baffled by how much had changed. To be honest, I was afraid she would run across Cyrus, who would imprison her and prolong this plan. Liz tried to calm things down, but Cyrus couldn't give her any information about where Lulu was. Lucky later got a piece of the Turning Woods camera video sent to his phone by email and watched it. After watching it together, Lucky and Liz were shocked to see that Lulu had woken up and left on her own. Brooklyn Quartermain and Harrison Chase fell in love more than once at the Quartermain farm as they tried to improve their chances of having a child. Brooklyn's look was unsettling, but Chase was excited about fatherhood and happy that they were experiencing this together for the first time. Then, on Wednesday's GH episode, Olivia Quartermain talked about how great it would be for Lois to have her first baby. But Lois seemed to be keeping a secret, just like Brooklyn. When Alexis Davis finally stood up and tried to stop Rick Lansing from bothering Christina Corinthos Davis while she was testifying, the judge said she would be held in contempt of court. Even though Alexis resisted a bit more, Sonny Corinthos finally led her away. Molly Lansing Davis predicted to TJ Ashford during a recess that Christina would never be able to forgive herself if Ava Jerome's acquittal was due to her own evidence. Soon after, Molly told Christina that her sister could go home now, but Christina refused. Natalia Ramirez got back on the stand when Rick played her 911 call and asked her to confirm that she had been in an accident with Christina. But Natalia cooked up a tale about being distracted by her daughter's SMS and lied that she was to blame for the accident. As Rick questioned Natalia, she tried her best to hide yet another instance of Christina's unstable behavior. A furious Christina went to face Ava about the subpoena because she wanted to protect Sonny after Rick forced Molly to confess while she was on the witness stand. Ava admitted to grasping Christina's arm before she jerked away, fell over the bag, and fell out the window during her statement. In order to keep the FBI agent she was interacting with out of this, Ava also admitted that she had traded the bag for shoes. Nevertheless, Ava exaggerated how she had lost a daughter and would never want anyone to experience that pain. Ava seems truly saddened by the loss of Christina's unborn child after apologizing for the way the face-off had gone. In closing remarks, Rick maintained that this was a terrible accident, but the ADA pressed for Ava to be found guilty of manslaughter. Molly looked to have changed her mind after the incident and told TJ that she thought this was a tragedy. According to General Hospital spoilers, Molly will need to process everything that has happened, so tune in for more drama. Updates and spoilers for Monday, December 2's episode of General Hospital hint to tense arguments, family reunions, and anxious moms. TJ Ashford and Molly Lansing Davis are having a heated argument, Laura Collins is in a panic, and Lulu Spencer is having a great time at a family reunion. Spoilers for General Hospital, preemptions and encore episodes. On Thanksgiving Day, which is tomorrow, fans can see the July 29, 2024 rebroadcast of the show. But college sports will take over Friday's schedule. While Trina Robinson continues to deal with her own set of problems, James West Gary James Fuller starts to recognize the underlying familial conflicts in this encore episode. In the meantime, Dante Falconeri is faced with a moral conundrum, and Sasha Corbin tries to keep Cody Bell on track. In addition, Jason Morgan embarks on a new mission while Tracy Quartermaine gets an unexpected gift. GH spoilers, anxious moms. Laura is in a panic as she runs to Lucky Spencer, who is obviously playing the Turning Woods movie for her. She claims to Lucky that unless she was truly in danger, Lulu would never have tried to leave the facility. Cyrus Renault confronted Lucky, but Cyrus denied knowing about Lulu's escape, which was the truth. Lulu had awoken in time to hear Cyrus discussing with a physician the chance of becoming her uncle and moving her to a facility in South Carolina. Before her coma, she had unpleasant memories of Cyrus. Spoilers for General Hospital, family get-togethers. Now that she is safe, Lulu and Rocco Falconeri are having a happy reunion at the Quartermaine house. Perhaps understanding that her period in a coma was longer than she first thought, she welcomes him with a cheery long time no see and a bright smile. As she recovered from a stab wound that may have been caused by the explosion at the floating rib, she had thought that her hospital stay would only last a few days. The person who can tell her how long she's been gone might be Rocco, who is now 3 feet taller than when she last saw him. Since Maxie Jones and Damian Spinelli know that she entered the house with the extra key, word of her return will soon spread. GH spoilers, hot button debates. After Ava Jerome's trial, which is anticipated to end in her discharge, TJ and Molly find themselves in a tense standoff in their apartment. TJ still hates Christina Corinthos Davis for the untimely death of the child she carried for them. Molly is saddened and in tears as it seems that TJ is pressuring her to act, perhaps by filing charges against Christina. She says she would do anything for him, but that's where she stops. Molly thinks the incident to be a tragic accident, but TJ doesn't seem to agree, which causes a divide between them. Spoilers for General Hospital, I agree with you as Alexis Davis meets Rick Lansing at the courts, emotions rise. After Christina grew so upset due to Rick's incessant questioning and broke down in tears over the blame for the baby's death, a break was called. Alexis says they will just have to agree to disagree when he stands in front of the judge's bench. After Christina's cross-examination, the jury will finish its deliberations, and the courtroom will reassemble. Even though it looks like Ava might avoid any legal consequences, Rick seems more interested in making a statement. GH spoilers, a child at risk, family conflict? After Jason, Dante Falconeri, and the children chose to remain in the Quartermaine home, Jason is obviously upset. The children agreed with Sam McCall that Danny Morgan and Scout Quartermaine should not be separated from Rocco or from one another. Scout went on to say that she had expressed her desire to stay in Port Charles to her father, who had consented to the plan and offered to commute. He has already changed his mind though, and told Jason that he and Scout will be leaving as soon as he moves into the Quartermaines. Just like he did with Curtis Ashford, Drew is betraying his word to his daughter. Spoilers for General Hospital, Christina needs the truth. Christina ends up at Alexis' house with Sonny Corinthos while they wait for the jury to meet again. Although it's clear that Sonny brought her home, Christina is now pressing him for something crucial. She demands that he be truthful with her. She had earlier been tearful before the courthouse, telling her parents that Ava should be held accountable for the terrible death of her kid. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.